That right there is Samarkand. The busiest trading city on Earth. 2 centuries before Christ. And somehow, I'm standing in the middle of it.
If you want to see how people actually made money before there was money as we know it, subscribe right now. This is the Silk Road.
I rolled into town about an hour ago and I've already been offered silk, spices, a camel, and what I'm pretty sure was a marriage proposal.
These roads stretch from China all the way to Rome. 4,000 miles of desert, mountain, and danger. And every single trader out here is betting their life on it.
Smell is the first thing that hits you. Cumin, cardamom, cinnamon. This city smells like my kitchen cabinet, except multiplied by about 10,000. I found a caravanserai that's basically a roadside motel for camel caravans. The Yelp reviews are mixed. 3 stars, no running water, strong camel smell.
Here's the thing nobody tells you about the Silk Road. Nobody actually travels the whole thing. It's a relay race. Goods change hands 5, 6, 7 times before reaching Rome.
The middlemen are the ones getting rich. Buy silk in Kashgar for X, sell in Samarkand for 3X. The guy in Rome pays 10X. That's the ancient version of drop shipping.
Silk was basically the Bitcoin of 200 BC, worth more than gold in Rome. Roman senators tried to ban it because too much silver was flowing east. Didn't work.
I just watched a man pay for a horse using bolts of silk. Not coins. Silk. This is actual currency out here. The payroll for the Chinese army was partially paid in silk.
You want to know the most lucrative job on the Silk Road? Not the merchants, the translators. A guy who speaks 3 languages can name his price. Information was the real gold.
I'm standing in a blacksmith's forge right now. This guy makes the coins that half of Asia trades with. Greek style, Macedonian influence. You can see Alexander's face on some of them still.
Alexander died 100 years before this. But his coins still circulate. That's what empire does. It outlives the emperor. It lives in your pocket.
Okay, I found the food market. Lamb skewers the size of my forearm, flatbread coming out of clay ovens, pomegranates the size of softballs. 7 out of 10 for presentation, 9 out of 10 for flavor.
The wealth disparity here is wild. You've got merchants in silk robes walking past beggars in rags. No middle class. Just the connected and the desperate. And the desperate do most of the actual caravan work.
Bandits are the dark side of the Silk Road economy. Every caravan hires armed guards. Protection money to local warlords. The line between merchant and mercenary, very thin.
It's sunset. The city changes at sunset. The market closes. The gates lock. And the real trading begins in the caravanserais and back rooms. The deals that actually move empires.
I got invited into a backroom trade. Persian merchant, Chinese trader, Bactrian camel dealer. They're negotiating in 3 languages through 1 translator. The deal involves silk, jade, horses, and what I think is a marriage alliance.
The Chinese trader just offered his daughter in marriage to seal a silk deal. The Persian counteroffered with horses. This isn't business. This is geopolitics happening in a room the size of my apartment.
The deal closed. Several hundred bolts of silk for 24 Bactrian horses plus a marriage. The translator got paid in gold. And I just witnessed the ancient version of a corporate merger.
I stepped outside and the stars over Samarkand are... I don't know how to describe them. No light pollution. Just the Milky Way stretched out like a road. The same stars those caravans navigate by.
Tomorrow, those traders head east toward the Taklamakan Desert. One of the deadliest stretches of the Silk Road. They call it the Desert of Death. Some of the camels I saw today won't survive the crossing.
I met a young trader this morning. Couldn't have been older than 18. He's carrying jade all the way to Persia. Asked me if I thought he'd make it. I told him yes. I don't know if I was lying.
He gave me a piece of jade. Said it was for luck. This kid is about to walk 2,000 miles through desert and bandit territory, and he's giving me a lucky charm.
Here's what I've learned. The Silk Road isn't about silk. It's about connection. Every bolt of fabric, every bag of spice, every coin, it's a handshake across 1,000 miles. It's someone you'll never meet, trusting you'll hold up your end.
Nobody on the Silk Road got rich alone. The fortunes were made by the networks, the relationships, the translators, the people who could stand between two worlds and make them understand each other.
That's the real forgotten business model. Not the goods. The trust. And trust was the hardest currency on the road.
I don't know if that kid makes it to Persia, but I'm keeping the jade.